the forts. So you see two entrances here that are boarded up, locked up there, 1871. So Camden and Fort Mitchell, they date from about the same time period. Carlisle on the opposite side dates to 1707, so she was earlier. What happened along the coastline here is that Kinsale was the original port really for this part of Ireland. When the Spanish arrived in 1601, the British started to fortify the harbours. So in Kinsale you had James Fort was built, and then later in 1667 or so Charles Fort was built. And around that time they started to fortify parts of Cork Harbour, so small amounts of fortifications started popping up, you know. But later then, as I suppose Cork, later on then with through technology, the city of Cork started to develop, and the shipping traffic used to go all the way then right up into Cork City with dredging and you know, defined channels being marked and so on. So Cork then became the primary port, and Cork City developed as a city, and Kinsale was left behind. But in the build up then to World War I, these fortifications were added to and added to and added to. So Camden here behind us and Carlisle across the way, they cover about 50 acres each. There's a labyrinth of alleyways and tunnels and storage facilities in under the cliffs. We'll just turn around again. Especially in the latter years when the Americans got involved, there was a huge fleet here based in Cork Harbour, American ships, British naval ships. Their primary function was keeping the Irish Sea clear of mines, German submarines, and helping some of the convoys that were coming across what was called the Atlantic Highway, which was the supply route from the US to the UK. So the one thing they were very fearful in this area was German submarines. In the middle of the harbour here, it gets down to about 100 feet, so there's a lot of depth there. And you can see the two open areas here in the cliffs. They house what's called a Brennan torpedo. You can see just on the kind of pier below the entrances, you can see it's been filled with concrete on both sides. So there was kind of like a sliding system, and this torpedo ran on a wire-based system. So they could launch the torpedo from these two areas. If you can imagine a school of trade, if you pull the trade and the school runs out, torpedoes worked on the same basis. So the harbour is very well protected. The gun positions then, the angles of the guns crisscross the whole harbour, and the guns on spike had a range of 5 miles directly out. So the Germans didn't get into Cork Harbour, but they got very close. You all know the Lusitania was sunk off Kinsale in 1915. That's about 20 miles from here, but about 2 kilometres, so about this distance, again outside the lighthouse, is actually a German submarine laying on the seabed at about 30 metres, and it was laying mines for British ships during World War I, and it actually blew itself up, so they were very, very close. Right down on the far side of Whitegate then as well, down the Hadda, there was a seaplane base there as well, so an American seaplane base down there for their troops. This is the pilot boat coming in, so any ships travelling in and out of Cork Harbour take a ship's pilot. What a pilot is basically, it's a captain, it's a qualified captain. He's done his time at sea, maybe returned. I know one of them that I worked with at sea years ago returned to Cork to live in Cork. But what they do is they're brought out with a pilot boat, they go on board the ship, they assist the ship's captain to navigate the channels of the harbour, and that boat now, or that ship, is going into Ringaskiddy with all that cargo. So that's a large container ship. Today we have container ships travelling all the way into the city to Tivoli, but that traffic is going to be stopped if on time by next year, so 2021, and all that traffic then will be going into Ringaskiddy. They're going to develop the area of Tivoli there as kind of a new suburb of Cork, and then the Docklands development in around the city where the Port of Cork was located, in around where the Sexton was, you know, all that area has been developed. You can see it around Kent Station now, where all the new apartments and offices are going there as well. So the main shipping traffic into the city has been moved down to the lower harbour. Okay, any questions? No? Right into Crosshaven. So